Holders of Atom, stakers of Saga, and everyone that's interested in crypto airdrops in 2025, today's video is for you. Also, if you're interested in Celestia and Babylon, we have some updates there as well. But first off, quick update that we have Cosmos Istanbul coming very soon on September 3rd during the Istanbul Builders Week. If you are in Istanbul during that week, then please sign up and join our event at Han Spaces in Beşiktaş, Istanbul. This is the fourth Cosmos Istanbul following Cosmoverse that we held in Istanbul in 2023. There was a big success. So a lot of cosmonauts in Istanbul, a lot of developers, and also a lot of sloths. The Celestine sloth community is really represented in a big way in Istanbul and broader Turkey. So sign up here. You see, this is always a packed event, and we're going to announce the speakers for that evening event very, very shortly. Then also this Sunday is a good opportunity for you to take 1 or 2 hours to create content and participate in our Cito Earn campaign. We currently have a campaign ongoing where you can win a share of 1200 USDC or 50 atoms. The deadline to submit your content is August 27th. So all you got to do is come here, submit your content on this Google form, and then you'll be eligible for winning up to 600 USDC for creating content around the Cosmos Hub, anything that's related to any of these topics that we have outlined here. And you can also find more information, all the information on our website, cito.zone. Everything should be there under the Cito Earn tab. Click right here. There's the ongoing campaign that I just showed you, and you can learn anything about that. We'll have more campaigns coming up, and I think this is a fantastic way to increase project visibility, to also recruit content creators and also compensate those that are creating content, whether that's video content, threads, any platform, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok even, right? Doesn't matter. So yeah, just submit your content. You have time until August 27th. And for those that are subscribed to our Cito Plus premium feature, which we have an offer going on for $299 per year right now, so it's around $25 a month. You also get content like this, that is more general crypto updates sent to your inbox every single week. Plus also we're sharing and updating our team portfolios, my own portfolio, which assets I'm also holding outside of Cosmos, because yes, I do hold a majority of my assets in Cosmos tokens, in Atom, in Akash AKT, Celestia as well, Tia, Saga, which I've also been an investor in, Babylon, baby, right? But I also have, in fact, my largest position in my liquid portfolio that is far from Cosmos. Actually, it's not even a blockchain at all. So those are the type of information we're sharing with our premium members, alongside also just replying and engaging, because it sometimes can be a very, very dangerous place, especially if you are trying to claim airdrops, if you're trying to learn about a new project. There are so many impersonators, so many scam sites, and Cito Plus really is your safe haven, your safe crypto zone where you can ask anything. You can get verification before taking any action, especially if you're unsure in your specific case whether or not those type of things are legit. And also we are landing exclusive whitelist slots. For instance, the Wandering Whale Sharks, which is probably going to be one of the eligibility criteria for the Union Airdrop, which I think is going to get the ticker U. But I think I saw another project launching with ticker U recently that I think is also listed on Binance now. But we'll see Union coming very soon. I have some more comments on this in a second. But now, I said this video is for Atom holders because there's currently a proposal, again, I'll have to say again, because this has failed multiple times in the past, but now it looks like it might actually pass. The deadline is August 20th, which is in 2 or 3 days. I think that's Tuesday or Wednesday. Anyways, August 20th is the deadline for this proposal, which is to enable permissionless CosmWasm smart contracts on the Cosmos Hub. So now that the InnoChain Labs team is not going to launch the permissionless EVM on the Cosmos Hub, the community, I actually don't know who made this proposal, but someone made a proposal to then deploy CosmWasm instead. Now that the Neutron team is in charge of maintaining and growing the CosmWasm codebase, which was a deal between ICL and the Neutron team, or Hadron Labs, which is the development arm behind Neutron, to maintain CosmWasm, and Neutron being one of the permissionless CosmWasm chains out there, alongside Juno, alongside Archway. Now also we're hearing that Stargaze is potentially going to deploy it, potentially also Osmosis, that currently also, as far as I know, only has permissioned CosmWasm. Same for the Cosmos Hub itself, currently in permissioned mode, but now they want to go permissionless, which would open a Pandora box, not only for dApp developers to deploy their contracts, to build DEXs, to get really creative, which obviously is a pathway that could attract and generate revenue, on-chain revenue for the Cosmos Hub, and also maybe lead to viral applications like the pump.funds of the world. So from that angle, it's a net positive. But there's also the ICL roadmap, which is focused on fintech institutional adoption, governments to build their own L1s, and then a hybrid on and off chain business model that would actually generate revenue for Atom. And one part of that proposal, which I also had quick talks with the Interchain Labs team, is the fact that if this passes, it might actually mean that Interchain Labs has to also maintain parts of that and to launch also a token factory, and just causes more burden and work for them. But yeah, I think in the end of the day, it will be the community to decide, a community of validators and delegators. Remember, in Cosmos, proof of stake governance works in a way that, yes, validators can vote, and if delegators do not vote, the delegator vote will basically go to the validator. So whatever the validator votes will count, but the delegator can always override by just voting themselves. So I really urge everyone to vote here without getting too political, too dramatic about it. We are also still going to vote with Cito, of course. We're one of the validators ranked in the top 30 or something like that, but you can already see Cosmos Station, Everstake, Posthuman, also community validators, Citadel, pro delegators have all voted in favor. Polkachoo as well. Those that are voting against are, just a few. We have Cybernetics, we have Stick and Relax, Kintsugi as well. But we'll see. I think we're also going to cast our vote very soon. We had a discussion around this on our last team call at Cito internally. We have weekly team calls and we talk about governance every single week as well, on the phone, on a call. And of course, we have a dedicated governance channel where we also discuss those things within our governance team. But you can let me know your thoughts for this proposal below this video. If you have any comments, any thoughts, always stay respectful and constructive. I think that's the most important thing. The Cosmos Hub itself, I think right now, price-wise, still below $5. APR 17%. The monetary ratio went slightly up. I think it went to like around 56. It was in a bit of a free fall in the past few weeks, ever since the EVM was called off, basically. But now it's stable and slowly climbing up, as it seems. But we'll see where this goes. I think there will be a couple of things coming up that the ICL team is cooking and working on. And of course, at Cosmos, we're also doing the best that we can to bring fintech, also governments. We already have participation from Croatian politicians, the ex-minister of education, sports, and we also have the Serbian SEC participating, and we'll have more. We're actually doing a lot of BD right now, a lot of outreach, a lot of my own time is invested into outreach to regional in the whole Southeastern European area, but also Central Europe, UK, and Switzerland. Those really are the markets we're targeting for this year, Cosmos. And we also hope to see all of you in Croatia this October. Now, Celestia, another little bit of a problem child that went through a lot of FUD, a lot of drama with Polychain selling off hundreds of millions, not just like tens of millions, but hundreds of millions of dollars of TI tokens. They now got finally bought out by the foundation themselves. So the Celestia Foundation bought back tokens from Polychain. But now inflation set at 5%, staking APR 11%. There are also still talks around migrating away from POS and to become a POG, proof of governance chain, the first of its kind. We'll see if that ever comes and when and how. You can still stake here. We're also, of course, running a validator with Cito. We have lost some ranks here, but still in the top 40 with around 3.7 million delegated, and truly appreciate all of your delegations. I think when it comes to delegator count, we are still ranked second. But Prism has also made a state delegating to them. They have packed that to their airdrop, and we have not. We don't have our own token or anything like that. So considering we are just a pure validator, that is very, very strong. And really big thanks to all of you that are delegating to us across multiple chains that are also trying to save us on Injective, which is a chain we unfortunately are always dropping in and out. And I think the Injective Foundation doesn't really want us because they always delegate to other validators, and I think that's okay. I understand their game plan also to really only have institutional validators in their set. That's my understanding, but the chain somehow wants us. We always get back in. We always get in and out. As of now, I think we're out of the set, but any larger Injective INJ holders out there, please get in touch. We can also work out on a deal to get Cito back into the Injective INJ set. Now, with regards to Celestia, we have two exciting projects that I want to really highlight. One is XO Markets, a conviction market that we also have talked about months ago already. And I also had a call with the founder now, very, very smart guy, well connected. He really knows what he's doing. And I think that's very strong, especially coming out of this 3-year terrible bear market for altcoins. So XO market, definitely one to watch. That is also pre-token launch at least. And then also we have a new one called VEX. That is actually an exchange, a DEX, a spot DEX that is also now upgraded to using Celestia for their DA layer. Celestia itself still needs to scale, still needs to also figure out their economics. But I think that's definitely one that I'm bullish on in the mid-long term, because they just have this massive edge in the DA space as a modular network, modular ecosystem. They attract a lot of quality builders and mindshare, well known across the board, strong token distribution or listings on all the major exchanges. So we'll see. That's definitely one I'm still holding and bullish on. The same counts for Babylon Baby. Of course, I'm an early investor. I invested into Babylon in 2022, so a very long time ago. And now that the Babylon mainnet is live, called Babylon Genesis, the question is, what is next? And can they manage to really get this economic flywheel going with their Bitcoin staking and Bitcoin secured network ecosystem? Currently, the Baby token is traded at around a $600 million FTV, 4% inflation, 20% APR. We're also, of course, running a validator with Cito, and appreciate all your delegations there. I think we're also quite high when it comes to unique delegators, ranked 7 by delegations and ranked 3rd by unique delegators, which is very strong. And again, big thanks to all of you that are delegating to Stake Cito. Now, why do I mention Babylon? There are two exciting things. Number one, they want to implement a deflationary model for the Baby token with these BSNs starting to generate economic activity and value. So that will basically work in a auction model, I think similar how Injective does it, where part of the revenue will be used to burn Baby via auctions, which will help Baby deflate over time. So that proposal has passed already. That is coming. The first 10 BSNs were also already announced, and the Babylon chain itself is also strongly positioned with permissionless EVM coming, smart contracts, and also with DeFi integrations, like David is highlighting here, that currently the DeFi lending landscape is in a way that is all dependent on Wrap BTC, which is a permissioned BitGo issued Bitcoin derivative or synthetic Bitcoin, basically, that is not sitting on the Bitcoin chain. And he's saying that this is an infrastructure gap. And Babylon has built vaults, we talked about this when it was announced, that lets you use real Bitcoin as collateral while it stays on Bitcoin. And this is the innovation that Babylon brings to the table, alongside using Bitcoin for security, alongside also reducing unbonding times and fixing these long-range attacks issues. So there's a lot of things that Babylon is fixing. I think there's always a little bit of a kind of narrative shift sometimes, at least that's my kind of feeling, similar to Osmosis. That is, sometimes they are saying we're a DeFi hub, then we are the interchain DEX, then we have Polaris, which is a trading terminal. So I think also for Babylon, the most important thing is to stick to a core narrative and really focus on that, and everything around it, right? These sub narratives need to contribute to the main narrative. So I love these Bitcoin vaults, but I think overall, there needs to be a lot more clearer communication and marketing narrative deployment about what Babylon actually is, because I think the broader market has not really understood what Babylon actually does. Of course, the numbers are impressive, over $5 billion in TVL still at this point. But I think Babylon should be a top 50, top 40 chain by market cap as well, and a coin that should be on page 1 on CoinGecko, like 100%. That's my personal opinion. Now, we also have some very controversial news from Story Protocol co-founder Jason Zhao, who actually just announced that he steps back. And the controversial part here is that he steps back 6 months after the mainnet launch, which is also coinciding with the unlock or the cliff ending, apparently, for early contributors. Well, I'm not personally here to judge that. I'm just here as a messenger. Of course, I have my personal views and thoughts about this. But yeah, Jason seems to be a very young guy, and is now also launching basically his own project called Poseidon that also got investment from Story Protocol. And he's also saying that he's still a strategic advisor to Story. So he's not fully out, but of course, him stepping down from his full-time role is a big signal to the market. And he also got a lot of backlash under this post. I have not met him personally. I have not engaged with him or interviewed him, unfortunately. I think I would like to do it at some point, but all the best, Jason. I'm just going to leave it as it is. And you can make your own thoughts about that. Now, to wrap it up, two very important things. First off, the Union Airdrop, I already mentioned it. That has been years in the works. I met Carol actually sometime in 2020, 2021 or 2, I think, yeah, sometime around that, I think 2022. They came to Cosmos also back then. He was still in a very different role. But then he went on to found Union, which is an interoperability layer that also is closely integrated into Babylon and other protocols out there. And Union is also ready to launch its token. And with the token launch, we'll also see the Union Airdrop coming out. So hopefully that should be a good one. I really hope so. Of course, airdrops have been very dry over the past almost year, I would say. But yeah, I think the last big one was probably, I don't know, like Saga airdrop. Dimension airdrop was pretty nice back then when it came out. But yeah, after that, we didn't have that many larger airdrops, I would say, in the Cosmos ecosystem. But Union, a full-on Cosmos SDK layer 1 blockchain from the textbook. There have been some rumors around the airdrop eligibility. There were some news circulating on Twitter, but I think Carol also said that this is all just on testnet and this was just to play around. So those were just, yeah, those are not official information. But needless to say that the whale shark NFTs are likely to give the airdrop, are likely to be considered for the airdrop. So yeah, I'm not sure, I don't remember what the mint price was, but what I know is that Cito Plus members got an exclusive whitelist for whale shark NFTs, and that is part of the value proposition that we have. Big shout out also to the Union team for collaborating with us with Cito Plus. I don't actually remember, but it looks like the mint price was actually free. Was this actually a free mint? I don't actually remember, but nonetheless, yeah, Cito Plus members that got to mint the whale shark NFTs, they are eating well already, and they will eat a lot well potentially after the airdrop comes out. Now, finally, Saga. Some information about Saga. First off, they have their Gamescom conference coming up, I think even this month, which is happening in my country, Cologne, Germany. So big shout out. And they also have an AI pop-up store at that conference. This is always their main conference that they're attending. It's a Web2 gaming event, I would say. Of course, I think every year there will be more and more crypto projects and people participating, but Saga has been there since 3 years, and they always have a big presence there. Now, Saga recently did one very, very big change on their protocol, which is to entirely remove staking APR. So you can see there's a 3% inflation, but the staking APR is set at 0. There's currently no more staking APR on Saga, and you have to take immediate action if you want to receive staking rewards for your Saga. So what you got to do here is you have to come and you have to register your 0x, your OX address on Saga that you have to link to your Kepler wallet. And the way you do this is by coming here. I'm going to leave a link, of course, below this video, register.saga.xyz. Be very, very careful with fake links. You have to come here, connect your Kepler wallet. Then you either have the option to directly connect your MetaMask wallet, and then it's just one more click and you're done, or you manually type in your 0x address, and then you also do the same. After you did it, you can also verify by just trying the whole process over again, and then we'll say your address is already connected. So please do that ASAP if you want to continue receiving Saga staking rewards and maybe also other perks in the future. Also, very important information, yes, you can connect multiple Kepler wallets to one single MetaMask. At least that's what I've done, what also I heard Rebecca saying in the announcement, in the statement. And that means if you hold Saga tokens and stake Saga on multiple Kepler wallets, then you can just always connect the same MetaMask here, and it will all count to that new 0x address. For those that care how this works, well, what they're doing now is basically they're directing all the inflation to the community pool, and they have also passed a proposal that the community pool is from now on managed by the Saga Foundation, or like a sub part of that pool that receives these inflationary rewards. So anyways, part of that is now managed by the Saga Foundation, and they are going to pay out the staking rewards manually, basically, to stakers and validators. So also for us as validators with Cito, we now have a very different way to receive our staking APR or our commissions. But yeah, we'll see. And I have no clue how much that is going to be. I have no clue. Maybe for validators, similar how for Neutron, it's pegged to $8 denominated worth kind of every single month. Maybe not. Maybe it's different. I don't know, but we'll see. And I also don't really know what the staking APR is going to be. But again, for those that are staking their Saga, very, very important for you to take this action immediately. Now, that's all for today. I think you have some homework to do. Number one, register your Saga address immediately. Number two, participate in our Cito Earn campaign also immediately, because the deadline is approaching. I mean, you still have some time, but I think Sundays are always a good time when everyone else is like chilling and not working, to just like take an hour or two, be creative, create content, get some real organic engagement. Do not use ChatGPT, do not use any AI, just create quality content and organic content, and you will potentially earn money here. So that's that, and I'll see you very soon on Crypto Cito. Until then, stay safe and be good.